Okay, we are live. It is Monday. It's painting day. And we are gonna figure out our next steps on this guy. We started him last week. We had got the design put down, figured out the placement of some things, and we started to put some color down. Now my body colors are going to be tropical blue, peacock teal, and crystal blue. So not a bad color assortment there. I just have to figure out what's going to go where. Because I'm not sure. So, the ribs connecting up to our circles, our little liney guys, those are all going to be gold. So I have to figure out the coloring in between, essentially. Which is kind of the tricky part. Kind of, sort of. Like, is this too dark against that? Should I go this color for our face, maybe? Just to break up all the dark? That might be what we do. We'll take a look at it, and if we don't like it, we'll paint over it. Like, it's something that we can do. There, didn't have it fully in focus. So I hope everybody's Monday is going all right here. Alright, I haven't cleaned my plate recently. Shocking, I know. We still got some paint on there from the last project. Wow, that was really thick. Why? Why was that so thick? I don't know. Alright, I should probably have this flipped back the other way. I don't. You know what? We are. I thought I was going to work on the other side of the body first, which is why I flipped it back. But it's going to be more comfortable to do this way. Sorry if my head pops into the shot. I am pretty zoomed out here. So we are using acrylic craft paints. It's still paint. It fits my budget. It works for my budget. And you know, we'll see how things go. But so far, using this paint, we've done a couple things with this so far. It's been going okay. No major issues. I think the most coats I've done is maybe 4 on a yellow, maybe. and that was a very transparent yellow. So that's not all that surprising. Now our background is going to be black, so I haven't painted that in yet. I decided to do that part last this time. A little concerned with how thick this came out. It's not normally that thick. I wonder if it's just been so hot in here that the consistency changed on me a little bit. Like, it's drying already. On my plate, I've got like a little skin on the dome of it. But it's also been crazy hot for here. I mean, we're not like Death Valley temperatures or Vegas temperatures, but the highs in the 90s with the feels likes of, I think we got up to feels like of 106 yesterday. It's not fun. Not great. That's for sure. So, I don't have a reference for this guy. We're just kind of winging it. The base design was from a set of stencils I had picked up some time ago. And after doing our little fish painting, inspired by, I'm gonna have to like tilt that up. But after doing the fish painting inspired by my incense burner, I was like, oh, you know, it'd be fun trying to do a seahorse like that. You know, they've got all the little fins coming off their side and all, and I was like, that sounds like an awesome thing to try to, you know, add a little bit of flair to. But I can't freehand a seahorse to save my life, so I remembered, like, while I was looking at photos on Unsplash to see if I could even find one that I wanted to attempt to replicate, and wasn't having much luck. I remembered I had some stencils for like sea themed. The same stencil set that we used with the acrylic paint markers. And I was like, you know what? I might actually have a seahorse in there. And I think I actually had two different ones. And this was the one I chose. Obviously, it was not this big. The stencil block was like maybe 5 inches, I think, for the entire outer edge of it. And then there was stuff inside of it. And most of the stencil squares had like a minimum of 3 stencils on them, I believe. Like 3 cutouts on them. So the stencils themselves were not all to the size of the block. I think there was a starfish that was, and maybe one other thing. So that was a little small. The full stencil design was probably like that big. As big as that section of fin there. So we have a scanner. So I traced it out. On my in my sketchbook, one of my sketchbooks, and then we enlarged it. To fit the canvas. The husband used a program he came across, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's free, and they like take donations to keep it going, sort of situation. I can't remember what it was for the life of me because he did it. And we printed it out across multiple pages that I then taped together to get the design lined back up with itself. I think we did an okay job doing that. And then I did the less expensive transfer trick of covering the back of the design where the lines are with just some pencil graphite. And we kind of made our own cheap transfer paper that way. I still had some tracing paper. I've used tissue paper in a pinch, but it's not that great. It constantly rips. So you have to be real gentle with it. It's not ideal. It actually would have been less of a headache if I had just done the graphite on the back of the design. But I don't know. I didn't feel like tracing it and then going through all of that again. I felt like it was going to be more work for myself. The design was like I didn't need to be able to see through the paper. Like there weren't multiple components and layers going on with it, so I felt confident enough to position it without the see-through aspect of the tracing paper. And here we are. Usually this paint's a little more liquidy, so I'm surprised it came out quite so thick. I mean, it's still working. Now, I will say, this dark, tropical blue color. Got a fuzzy. Still looks a little bit streaky. But, hold on one second. Okay, sorry, my mom needed something. All right, now this will get outlines in between the colors with that gold. So I don't have to worry so much about the lines being perfectly right up against each other. Now, this paint does, for the most part, seem to be like a two-coater. For the most part. Just want to get that cleaned up. Alright, and that puddle dried like super fast. I wonder if this is the older version of this color that I had. That one's a little more liquidy, but not that much. Not by much. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another pass on that tropical blue. Part of me kind of wants to. But I also think I might do a little something else with it. Like, I might work in either a little bit of this or or that middle of the road color. Just haven't quite made up my mind yet. I mean, I could try to work in some of this color into our little mouthy hole here. That is a possibility. Sorry, my brain's just kind of buffering today. I'd sleep in the other room last night with the kitten. Husband was trying to keep an eye on the other cat that's having some issues. We have to take him back to the vet today. And the bed in the other room is terrible. And the husband's like, I cannot get comfortable. I was like, right, well, I guess then I have to go in there. And he goes, why? I'm like, because it's a kitten. Like, it's a kitten. He's a tiny guy. He gets into enough trouble when there's somebody else in there, let alone when he's alone. And he's not old enough where he doesn't care about not having someone else around for a while. And oh my goodness, he was It was kitten rave party last night. He's got a thing about biting, not viciously, but kind of playfully, people's faces, like their noses. And he like wants to stick his nose like right up mine and then rub the side of his face against it. I'm like, okay, but not while I'm sleeping. And then like stepping on my eyeballs and I'm like, buddy. And then he was walking across the top of the TV screen like he's that little. He figured out he could do that last night and I'm like, husband, how stable is this TV in here? And he's like, why? And I'm like, because I'm having visions of this TV crashing onto the other stuff that's sitting below it and breaking. He came in and shook it pretty good. He goes, actually, that's not that bad. I'm like, okay. Didn't know if we had to like tie it to the wall or something. If you're sure. It's not our TV. It's his mom's TV. And I don't know what kind of angry she would be about it. If the kitten accidentally broke it. I don't know. That is a mystery. Alright, so this is pass number 2 in this section. Husband's birthday is end of the week. So do any of you guys actually check out the Rimworld stream? Because I'm not really feeling it. I tried. I'm bored. I'm bored. I feel lost. I'm just not. I might not do it this week. We might just do Magic Cat instead. Because now that I've started Magic Cat, I'd kind of like to keep going. Even though I was getting frustrated with that, it was a different kind of frustration. Not really frustrated with Rimworld, I'm just bored. Like, it's similar to Honey, I Joined a Cult, but not. I don't know. I'm bored. It's that simple. I'm just bored. Okay, so there's pass number 2. Now I'm trying to figure out if I want the eye closed or if I want the eye open. Because that's going to make a slight difference on what I do next. Like, I kind of want it, like, maybe half open? Perhaps? Tomorrow we're going to start a new needle felt. Because we finished the last one. So I'm gonna use a reference that we've already painted twice now, but we did once in oils, and I believe that wasn't live streamed, that was recorded for the YouTube channel. And then I did it in acrylics. That we did live stream, if I remember correctly. And actually said I really wanted to paint it in gouache too. But y'all are gonna get sick of seeing the same thing, so at the moment I'll probably stick with just needle felting it. And then kind of seeing how we go from there. So that lid is going to need a second pass. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna grab a little bit of that tropical blue. Don't know that I'm gonna need that much of it. Paper towels behind me, that's why I'm like shifting awkwardly. Sorry, I noticed a little bit of water. On there. So this is a little bit of that tropical blue, the base color. That kind of slammed back into there a little bit. And then I took a little bit of this crystal blue that's already dry. And tried to add a little bit of water to it. I can try to blend this together a little bit. Because, I mean, it was a little dark in there. I mean, yeah, kind of the point. We did want it dark. But then it was kind of looking almost a little too dark. Like, almost. Okay, and then let's see. If I can kind of get some little stripey guys. A little bit lighter. Kind of ever so slightly worked into here. Okay, I'm feeling that. Might be a little overkill, but I'm digging that. Okay, now my brushes set aside over here for what I've touched and what I haven't touched. All right, so I'm gonna start to try to work that in around the eye. Just a bit. Well, that was a little much. That was a little much. Just a little much. I know some people think it might be silly to start putting that particular level of detail in already. But it's helping me figure out how I want to go about the rest of this. And it's my piece. So I'm gonna do it how I want to do it. So the outer edge of everything is gonna be trimmed in the gold. Just like how we did the funky fish. And that is archived on the YouTube channel. Same name as here. There should be a link somewhere. Probably in the About section. If it's not directly down below. So you can get an idea of where I'm going to take this guy. It's not the same exact colors as the fish. The fish we had, that like, oh gosh, what color was it? Fuchsia pop. We had used quite a bit of in there. So I'm probably going to come back in and outline that in gold. To help clean up that edge there. Or we could just come back in with a little bit more of this and like actually do a ring around it, we could do that. I could see a scenario where that could work. Actually. So I'm tapping off most of the crystal blue, or I'm trying to, for bringing that back in. Like, I could. Cause see how we still have the outline on that? I mean, it would be possible. It's very warm in here, and I've got a fan on. So I'm having to work in smaller chunks than I normally like to work in. And in fact, for as hot as it is in here, I don't even have the fan blowing directly on me. It's like kind of pointed up a little bit. It's still drying incredibly quickly. I don't want to lay this color in here too thick, but at the same time, like, I need it to try to stay a little bit wetter for me. Or it's going to be a lot of going back and forth today. Which is probably really what it's going to end up being. More than likely. You okay? No, I hadn't really given a ton of brainstorming power to this for how I wanted it to be. We're just kind of winging it, essentially. Trying to see what feels right, what we're liking, what we're not liking. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. Hope y'all are staying comfy. And that you're not melting into a puddle. In my neck of the woods. Or if it's chilly where you are, send some of that our way. Like, I'm not looking for snow, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for that. Don't misunderstand. But slightly chillier would be nice. Even like a 20-degree drop in temperatures where it's like in the 80s would be better than this. Just a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm liking this sort of like uneven blended bit of coloration we've got going on. Not quite a stonewash feel to it, but almost. But not really. Okay. We're getting there. We're slowly making our way around. And then we need to do second pass on the eyelid. I'm not sure if I'm going to need to pull out a little bit more of this paint or not. We might. We might. Now, am I going to give it this treatment on all of the dark sections? That's a good question. I don't know. I had not quite thought that far ahead yet. I mean, I suppose we could. wouldn't really be anything too major from stopping us. Okay, let me rinse that. That is a very powerful color, staining wise. I need you. Oh my goodness. What was that? Was that a sneeze or a cough?
I think it was a sneeze.
Did you sneeze, Zuzu? Or was that a snuffle fluffle?
Actually, I think it was it.
Really?
Yeah, he's wandering off now.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. Kind of like give him like a little masky guy. So when I copied the stencil over, when I traced the stencil, I went back and connected all of the breaks that there were in it for the design. Because, you know, it was a stencil, so there's the little gaps and stuff. So I actually went back in and reconnected where all the gaps were, so that there were gaps no more. And then we modified it some more. Hand got carried away there. Modified it a bit more with our little sections that are gonna end up being painted gold. There was just like a single line there, so I thickened it up. So it was like just one strip, so I added a side to the opposite side of it in most places. And then we added the little circly bits. Still want to do something with that nose, but haven't made up my mind what yet. figure that out at some point. Okay, so rinse that. I'm gonna need to get some white in the background of that eyeball. I don't know if I want it to be the pearlized white that we're gonna use on our bubbles, or if I just want it to be white white. I don't know what I should do there. I'll probably go with just white white. Probably the better option. So don't get too flashy. Yeah, I probably should have stopped at one drippy drop on the white there, but because now I'm pretty sure I've got way too much of that out. So do I want the... I'm gonna have to add a little bit of black, but do I want the eye to be entirely black? Or do we want to add a little bit of color in there? I think I kind of just want to go black. To be perfectly honest. Alright, that will need a second pass, but that's gotta wait till that one dries. Or else we'll just keep lifting up what we plopped down in there already. Alright. Just grabbing our dark color here. Kind of felt like there was a couple of folds on here. But I'm not loving that, so I'm going to fix that here. Yeah, it didn't turn out the way I was hoping. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with deciding that you don't like something. This is acrylic paint. and it's an easy fix. Now, if this darker color decides it wants to bleed through, we might need to come back in with some white and then repaint the entirety of the eyelid, but we'll see. I mean, it is a darker color under it, so probably gonna need a coat or two because I can still see it. Give that a minute to think about drying here. Let's not roll right through it though, okay? Let's not. Alright. That's a little better. We are definitely going to need to put some more of this out though, so we can finish up around the eye. Okay, yeah. That looks a little better looking at that on the screen. Like, it's still dark, but it's jazzing it up a little bit. Okay. So back to our crystal blue here. Actually, before I do that, let me dip into my white here. And yes, I did just get white paint on my hand. I was trying to get a water drop that was trying to take up permanent residency on the ferrule. I didn't want that dripping off and creating more havoc. And my terrible hand-eye coordination struck again. And now we've got white paint everywhere. That's okay. It complements the kitten scratches. Because the kitten thinks my hand is just the greatest thing to attack, so. Don't need much of this at the moment. So we're gonna go back to the scratchy script liner that I'm not a huge fan of. And I'm gonna try to tap most of that off. And we'll see about Trying to get the same sort of little streaky lines. Kind of worked into here. Mr. Bean, that's not a toy. Mr. Bean. Is he actually chewing on that? Hey. Is he chewing on that?
Who?
Bean?
On what?
The bead curtain?
No, he just got his tail wrapped in it.
Okay. I'll grab another little bit of water here. Little tiny guys. Little tiny guys. Just gonna circle our way around the eyeball here. Just a little bit. I kind of want to move in like an arc motion. As I'm going around this, just so we can try to keep that slight semblance of a circle going. Even if we are just, you know, kidding ourselves. We can try, can't we? So I'm not real sure what brush I am going to use. To do my outlining it. Oh, that was a little thick. A little thicker than I wanted that to be. Oh well, I guess that section will just be a little bit brighter. Not the end of the world. Gonna have to keep making more of it. Okay. So I'm kind of liking that effect we're getting because we can still see our colors underneath. Well, that wasn't quite what I had intended, but okay. Sure. Okay. All right, that's not bad. Rinse that. Okay. Dry that guy off. I didn't pull out my black yet. Well, I've got the black for the background. That's probably what I'm gonna have to use for the eyeball. So, yeah. We'll have to probably wait on doing the rest of the eye for the moment. Okay, I just need the smallest drop of that. Need a little bit of water. I'm gonna grab this tropical blue. And I just kind of want to put a little something something down here. Right, just give us a little shading there. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, that's not so bad. Alright. It could be better, but we'll think about it before we fuss with it too much more. Alright, so we kind of have to figure out how we want to do these colors in here. We could do the stomach all one color, or we could like alternate it. Not sure how I feel about alternating it. Really? This particular plastic is being a bit of a butthead. Alright, there we go. That into there. Give that a good shake. So this is our medium blue-green color. This is peacock teal. Really? I am so tired of seeing this advertisement. Could you guys like at least do something different? Because, you know, it's boring. And I'm tired of reporting you. I'm tired of blocking you. And I'm tired of banning you. Alright, so this is the peacock teal. I'm gonna move over to this side. See, that's how runny, liquidy this paint usually is. So when that other stuff... Oh, see, you can't see it. There we go. There. Like, it's usually a lot more runny than how that one was coming out. Alright. So, let's see here. If we do that one there, see, we go light here, dark middle here, light. I'm gonna go middle on both of those. Right, that one's light, middle, light, middle, light, middle. Okay, so that would be light, middle, 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 light, middle. Okay, so that would be light. This would be the middle match to that. I'm just doing like a small bit of color just so I can kind of work this out in my brain. All right, so that would be light. All right, so what if we go light on both of those and middle here? Light, middle. Light, middle. Hi, Mr. Bean! Hi, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean wants to be an artist. Hi, Mr. Beans. What can I do for you? Hmm? I'm not set up for you to paint today. See? He wants my nose real bad. No bites. Go play. Alright, so light middle. We kind of have the light of the face coming up into there. So if we go middle here, light and middle. Okay, that kind of works out somewhat evenly. And then this guy would just continue these bits over to here. Oh. Hmm. Well, that's a conundrum. Or did I... Oh no, I've... Oh no, that's the weird one. Where I was like, this is fine. You'll just both be that color. I guess we can... That would be light. I guess those could just both be light. Maybe? Maybe? Alright. Do I want to change brushes? Kind of. This one's kind of not pointy anymore. So I would like a slightly different brush. This one's pretty beat up. We've used this one a lot. I haven't exactly been gentle with it. And here I thought Mr. Bean was being a good boy and taking a nap on the bed. No, no. Mr. Bean was plotting his next move. Okay. So we're gonna need more of this color. But with as hot as it is today, not sure which one I'm gonna prefer here. I really only want to put out a small amount at a time. So that way it's not all drying up on me. And this will probably need a second coat. Most of the colors have. The darker colors, sometimes a third coat is warranted. Oh, there's an idea. We could alternate how we're alternating the base color on the fins. We could come back with that scratchy script liner that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, because the bristles turned out to be a lot more plasticky than I expected them to be. Looking at you, Master's Touch. We could take the alternating color and like how we did the eye, we could like vein it kind of like a betta fish. Kind of, like not exactly. All right. I want to swap brushes. I'm not feeling this brush. Now I might be able to bring that other brush back to life a bit with like either some liquid starch or liquid starch and fabric softener. We don't keep fabric softener in the house, so I'm not buying that huge of a jar of that for that. I don't know what I want to do with that yet. It wasn't a very expensive brush, so I'm not surprised that it got funky. To be perfectly honest, I am fairly rough on my brushes. Okay. Well, that's not so bad. Right, I'm not gonna do the gold yet. Like, gold is probably gonna be closer to like the last thing I do. More than likely. So, I did have to, like I said, I did have to restart the editing on the tissue paper project. I'm finally through the most tedious part of it. That was taking forever, and we've been busy, so, like, my dumbass messed up the edit so badly that I had to start over, and trust me, I was not pleased. I started renaming files after I'd already put them in the editing software, forgetting I couldn't do that. Because there was so many, and as I was trying to grab them to put them in, I was like, I am going to lose track of where I've left off. I should just number them. Yeah, and instead of starting with the ones I hadn't put in there yet, I started from the beginning. And then the first one I did, it didn't do anything to the media in the file, and I was like, oh, we're good. I kept going and got to the 10th one. So mad I was on the 10th video. The 10th recording. And it's like media offline, and I'm like, what? Couldn't find it at all. And then yeah, no. Total fuck up on my part. Like, beyond fixing. The only way to fix it was start over. Hey, that's not a toy! Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean, we don't play with lamps. You're gonna knock that over. He's so bad. He's such a kitten. 100% such a kitten. Mr. Bean! He knocked over a lamp that had just a tiny LED bulb in it so it didn't break last night in the other room when we were trying to have a slumber party. He was all about the party and not about the slumber. But he's in the kitten stage, right? Like, he's all go until it's suddenly nap time. And it could even be like a 15-minute doze, and then he's like, alright, let's go. I'm ready. And I'm like, I am not, Mr. Bean. It is bedtime. It is way past bedtime. I'm in like that weird sleepy Benadryl haze, and then the Benadryl wore off at the same time, and I was like, oh no. No. This is not it. Because then I was stuffy and tired as hell at the same time, and I was just like, why? Why can we not sleep? Okay. We are going to do a rinsey rinse. Just want to get some of that paint out of there. Right? Like I don't want it to be Snuffles, are you trying to play with him or is he bothering you? He's trying to rip my sneaker apart, is what he's doing. This cat has an obsession with feet. With my feet? Like, he kind of goes after the husband's feet a little bit. But, like, I walk into the room and he beelines for mine. I'm like, buddy. That was, or is a piece of fuzz. Give me 1 second here. I wasn't sure if it was in the paint or if it was just sitting on there. Like, I wasn't sure how attached that was exactly. So in those cases, it's just easier to grab the tweezers. It's also kind of funny because when he starts to get into playing, he will let out this tiny little battle cry. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's terribly hilarious when he does. And I'm sure Mr. Bean will not be his permanent name. I'm sure whoever ends up adopting him will change it. We just didn't know what to call him, and we had to call him something. And that was just kind of what ended up happening. I was originally thinking of calling him by the cat name from Kiki's Delivery Service, but I couldn't remember it at the time. But it always feels like a girl name, but I think that cat's a boy. And at the time, we didn't know if this was a boy or a girl. So I didn't want to give it, like, too specific of a name. So we were like, well, Bean could go either way. It could be Mrs. Beans. It's definitely Mr. Bean. We now can confirm that it's definitely a Mr. Bean. For sure. Clean this plate. I don't know, I've got something against cleaning my paint plates. I don't know why. Probably because with like the gouache, I kind of don't want to clean it if I can help it. Because that can be reactivated with water, you know? Like, I can still use that shit. The acrylic paint, though, that's not reactivating. Nothing I do with that is gonna bring that back. Is he still trying to kill my sneaker? Like, I only actually have one pair of real shoes. Like, I have two pairs of Crocs, and the one's pretty old and beat up, and the tread's really worn down on the bottom. And then I have a second pair of Crocs that I picked up last year. Before we went to Florida last year. I'm toying with picking up some actual water shoes before we go again. Or like a really cheap pair of tennis shoes, like $10. Just as plain can be. That I can wear on the beach. That can get all kinds of gross and full of sand. That doesn't matter if I can't save them. You know what I mean? Because I've done Crocs on the beach before. Sand comes right through the holes in them. And you're getting all the little bits of grit and tiny broken shells in there. I'm sure I will get sand in these other shoes. And the Crocs are more washable. But I also feel every single uneven thing I step on through the Crocs. Which can start to hurt after a while. But that will probably be a go time decision. Hell, that might be a pickup in at the Walmart near where we're gonna stay for the night before we head down to Fort Myers decision. So we're gonna leave my mom with my brother and her sister. And we are going to fuck off to Fort Myers area. We're not real big on visiting for days on end with family. We can just barely get through a couple of hours because we don't have anything to talk about. Like, totally separate interests. No common ground there whatsoever. And they're not really interested in the things that we are, where they would even understand what we were talking about. So it would be terribly awkward for days on end, so we're just gonna fuck off to Fort Myers. We don't have the money to go to the Keys this time, but I wish, right? But it's like the tail end of their busy season, so the prices are still a little high at that point. So instead we're gonna go down to Fort Myers. We're gonna go to the beach and go seashell hunting. We're gonna go to the zoo in Cape Coral, excuse me. I'm like, is it Coral Gables? No, I think it's Cape Coral. And there's supposed to be this massive indoor flea market that we found out about in Fort Myers that we kind of want to check out just to see, you know, it's Florida. Maybe I can find some really funky, cheap flamingo stuff to bring home with. You never know what you're gonna find. I've found a few weird, cheap flamingo things around here in the middle of landlocked Arkansas, which seems odd, but I have. Um, and there's a pretty interesting looking miniature golf course, and they're all like right there. I don't know if we're gonna go to Fort Myers Beach or if we're gonna go to Lover's Key State Park. We're gonna do one of those. Hi, 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 hi. Is she trying to play with him? Or is she getting mad?
I don't know.
Because I can never tell with her. I've been watching this one particular lady that goes shelling down in the... Well, she goes all over, really. But she said her favorite beach is usually Fort Myers. She said they just finished dredging, though. And so she didn't really find a whole lot when she went the last time. So we might start out on one and then go to the other. Because they're both about like 25, 30 minutes from the hotel that we are going to try to stay at. And I was starting to rethink my hotel choice for a little bit. So I was having trouble finding us food that we'll both be willing to eat. And then I looked at the hotel, the restaurant that's on property. I looked at their menu. And I was like, oh, we'll just eat here. This is fine. There's enough stuff on this menu that we'll find something. That's fine. Because we are basic bitch picky eaters. We don't like all this foo-foo-y stuff on the menu. Like, I'm good with just straight up French fries. I don't need truffle fries with aioli on. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Just give me a basic bitch bacon cheeseburger. Some fries. I don't need secret sauces on it. I don't need all this fancy shit on it. Just give me what I want. Please. And I'm good. It got to the point where I was like looking at the kids menu and I'm like, you think they'd let me order off the kids menu because some places say you have to be 12 years old or younger or they won't let you order off of it. And I'm like, none of these foods on the adult menu are appealing whatsoever. It was a freaking pub and everything was foo-fooey. I'm like, are you kidding me? This effing sports bar had like truffle fries and this and that. I'm like, it's a sports bar. Hi, 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 hi. That was not playing. Ma'am? Go the other side of the bed then. He's just gonna keep jumping up. He thinks you're playing. Snuffles is starting to find her voice though. When the mother-in-law gave us all of her stuff, she had a bark collar. And we're not sure if the mother-in-law had the bark collar on her or if she came with the bark collar to the mother-in-law. Hi, Mr. Bean, that's my feet. Thanks. We don't believe in bark collars. And like even like trying to get her to speak on command is a struggle. She'll do it every so often, I think, by accident. She barks to get the kitten to back off. Hey! That's enough. Mr. Bean, do you need a nap? It's fucking hot in here. When we're at the park, if she sees another dog, 9 times out of 10, she gets all, I'm going to protect you, defensive Barky. Sometimes Zuzu starts it first. Sometimes he doesn't, though. Sometimes it's all her, which is kind of hilarious. These two like never bark here. We get deliveries from time to time. Whether it's from Amazon or guinea pig stuff. I forgot I had to do the whole other side. I keep flipping this guy around. Sorry. Okay, so I just did a quick little maintenance rinse. On this guy. You know, I don't want the paint drying in the brush. And it is kind of sweaty hot in here. It was really kind of gross in here yesterday. But the feels like did get up to 106. I think the actual air temperature was sitting at like 96 at that point. I did see another forecasted feels like of 106 later this afternoon for today. And yesterday, the highest forecasted feels like I had seen before it got to 106 was 104. So now I'm like, oh, so what's it really going to be, like 108? I am not looking forward to making dinner tonight. But at least all I need to do is use the stove. I don't need to use the oven. Gonna make some orange chicken, but a non-spicy version. Because I don't like spice. Can't handle it. No, thank you. And my mom won't eat it if it's spicy either, so... Like, I barely put any ginger in something I made the other night. And she's like, it's too spicy. I'm like, what? Like, it's not spicy. I think she just didn't want to eat it because of how many vegetables were in it, to be perfectly honest. She always gives me so much grief about that. And there was vegetables in there that she would eat, so... But she only eats them, like, grudgingly. Begrudgingly. Like, I've seen this woman go out to eat and eat a lot. And then when I make dinner, she's like, oh, this is too much food. I'm like, you get more food on your plate when we go out. On the rare times that we have... Oh, shit, that wasn't supposed to be like that. Fuck! That was not supposed to be that color. That was supposed to be a light section. Did you find a spring? So I like got into her the one day. I said, so you don't like my cooking then? She goes, no, your cooking's fine. I'm like, well, you never eat. You take like 3 bites and then you're like, I'm full, and then start eating cheese and crackers like within 15 minutes. So you need to work with me here if I'm the one feeding you dinner. She'll tell me something's really good, but only takes like 3 bites. I'm like, what's going on? Were you too full from the amount of crap that you ate all afternoon? She's like, I can only eat a little bit. I'm like, that's bullshit. I've seen you eat more than that. She won't give me the real answer. Oh, your pizza's really good. And then whenever I make pizza, she's like, ew. I thought you liked it. I do. Then why don't you want it? Eh. I'm like, you understand how this is like mixed signals, right? I will make her a pork chop tomorrow. Because I'm probably gonna be like, fuck it, we're having dino nuggies. She won't eat those anymore either. She ate them a couple of times. And now when I'm like, dino nuggies, she goes, I'm not eating that. I'm like, why? If I made hand breaded in panko chicken chunks, she would eat those. Got a frame of it there. He's slowly coming together. Like, I'm not in a huge rush working on this guy, obviously. We've got time. I still have to figure out what I'm doing for her Christmas gift. I don't fucking know. Like, how many goddamn roosters can you paint? Stop rolling through wet paint. That would be great. I do need to check the weather real quick, because, oh my god. Really? It's 96 and feels like 103. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the feels like was going to be higher than that. Because I am melting. I need to change how I'm sitting. My legs are aching. Oh, oh, that felt kind of good. My lower back felt like something was not sitting right ever since I got up. And something just kind of made like a wet pop sensation. But in a good way? Kind of. So we have Cal currently in our dog kennel. Our dog kennel, we had gotten big to fit Momo and Zuzu both together in there. So it's big enough for a cat and a litter box and a food bowl and a water bowl. And we borrowed Snuffles' dog bed since Cal likes to sleep in it. And we've got Cal sort of sequestered in there for the time being while the kitten's out now. While we try to get Cal's issues sorted. We can't put Cal in the room that the kitten sleeps in because Cal likes to mark that room for some unknown reason. He doesn't seem to do it in any other part of the house. And we just cleaned that room with, oh, what the hell was it? Odoban? Something like that. Odoban. I don't know. It smells like eucalyptus. I haven't shampooed the rug in there, but we sprayed that like all over. And we don't know why. We haven't seen any other issues. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 effing litter boxes in this house in different locations. So he was being a bit of a brat about it. Okay. Oh, that's gonna have my arm in it. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe I can keep my arm up here out of the way. They're saying we have a chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow. Just said tomorrow PM, so I don't know, sometime afternoon. Like Windows 11 kept saying, oh, rainy days ahead, and I'm like, huh? Because looking at the local forecast, it wasn't on there, and I'm like, Windows 11. What are you smoking? And then finally, late last night, I saw where they put a chance of it on the local forecast. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure. And this morning I saw a little bit more information. Apparently it's going to be a very weak cold front that could potentially bring us some showers and or storms Tuesday night into Wednesday. And I'm like, oh good. Oh good. Recycling night. Wonderful. I've got a lot of recycling in this house that I need to take outside. But it's been too effing hot to take it outside. To stand there and sort it. So, we might not have enough to bother putting it on the curb that night. But it's enough where it's starting to take over our kitchen. So it needs to go outside. Maybe tomorrow morning before it gets too hot. I can try to get it out there. It ain't happening today unless it cools off dramatically. But we also have a fuck ton of grasshoppers in our yard. And they all keep jumping at me every time I go out there. I'm like, oh god, no. I can't. I know they're grasshoppers. They're relatively harmless. I understand that. But I can't handle bugs jumping at me, especially when we've got these giant ass cicadas everywhere on top of it. The dogs keep finding them when we go to the park in the morning and in the afternoon, and either stepping on them and pissing them off, and then they get all buzzy, or their body will just be like spinning in a circle on the ground and they're like trying to investigate it. I'm like, please, let's not anger the large bug any further than it already is. Could we not? Like, I don't want any parts of this. God, they were deafening this morning. There were so many. I've usually only heard heard them get like quite that deafening in the evening. Oh, it was creepy. It was the most obnoxious, painful white noise I have ever heard. Like, I like fan white noise. Oh, it was just like echoing. And it was so loud, like it was making the inside of my ears hurt. Unless I have an auto processing disorder that was making it seem 20 times louder than it was. I'm like, how do you people deal with this? Like, what is this? This is too much. My ears are saying no. Just no. So we are on pass number 2. So I'm probably going to just alternate the little veiny bits on the fin pieces. And sorry, my nose was itchy. And leave the rest of it its solid color. Okay. Let me rinse our brushy brush. And we're gonna flip this sucker around. Hi, Bean. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no. Wet paint, Bean. Hi. What you doing? Time for a bean break. Time for a beanie break. No bite. No. No nose bite. What's we doing? You being nosy? No, you can't get on that. I know. Come on. Go play. Okay. Alrighty, so this got its second coat, so did this, and so did this, and so did this. Sir? No, no. Excuse me. Excuse me, that's not a toy. Excuse me. Hey. What happened to your spring? Where'd it go? Huh? I have nothing to throw for you. Did we lose interest in the spring? Hey, can you sweep that puppy? By the trash can?
This one?
Can you sweep the puppy? He found the zip ties that are holding my light in place. Ooh, what's Daddy got? I just got that dog toy that you seem to love to try to destroy. Alright. We did a rinsey rinse. We got some fuzzy fuzz in it. Alright, so we are going to do second coat on this one. Not sure if I want to try to blend a little bit of that light blue, light teal, whatever, into these sections, or if maybe I hit them with one more pass, because they do look a little streaky. I might just try to darken them up one more time. Because we're gonna have the gold in those sections. Oh, sirens. Rather sudden sirens. Oh, not be an ambulance. Been a lot of bad car accidents around here lately. Like, in the span of a couple of days. Might have been back-to-back days, actually. Two people were tragically lost in two different accidents in different spots. Not sure if people just aren't paying attention or if it's people that need to get used to the fact that school's back in session, so traffic's gonna be heavier different times of the day. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's just more assholes than normal out that just can't be patient while they're driving. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand how people can drive these large death machines and not exercise some amount of caution. Last night, my mom said, well, she was outside smoking, she saw somebody go by on a motorcycle driving pretty fast with somebody on a skateboard holding onto the motorcycle. And even the skateboarder wasn't wearing a helmet, and I'm like, really? I should have asked her if they had a cell phone out. Probably filming a TikTok. Because that's so more important than safety. Guess what, kids? You're not gonna benefit from any kinds of clicks if you're no longer around. So maybe just stop. Because, you know, that could have gone tragically wrong. And not only could you have ruined your own life, but the life of somebody else that wasn't even involved. let's not be assholes, okay? Only problem is with it flipped this way and me painting in this direction is that I keep wanting to put my hand in wet paint. That is totally a me problem. That could have been so very easily handled if I had just started at the other end. Did I? No. No, I didn't. Am I gonna move to the other end? I should. I really should. Sorry, I had a weird, like, light splotch there that I just kept seeing. It was starting to take over my brain. Like, how do I want to do this? The paint that I have out is not so liquidy anymore. Just trying to grab what I can out of it. Alright. Yeah, I mean, well, this one was gonna need a second coat anyway. Oh, but yeah, if it's gonna stay this hot, I definitely need to... You okay? You okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
I thought you said something.
Nope.
Definitely gonna need to wash this plate today. I'm gonna run out of room because I have to keep putting so much on here. Okay. So it's just time for a quick rinsey poo. I'm gonna have to turn this fan back towards me now. It's toasty. Like, I don't know what it is in our room currently. Do you still have that temperature gauge over there?
Yes, it's currently reading 82.
Alright. It's been hotter than that before. I think the highest I've seen it get to in here was 84. I think. No, Mr. Bean! Absolutely not! He's playing with a cord.
Mr. B.
Mr. Bean, that's how we get electrocuted. Can we not kill that fan?
He's already gotten distracted. God, you were easy to distract, for all that your opinion. All I have to do is look and talk at you. Yeah. Yeah.
Can cats have ADHD?
It's a kid. They're made of ADHD.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Puppies are being dorks.
The dogs?
Yeah.
About what now?
I was looking at beans, so obviously I was looking in their direction, therefore I must pet them.
Oh. Well, I mean, you've been in the other room most of the time at night with the cat. So I'm not completely crippled in the morning, but they've lost out on cuddle time with you. So it's not all that surprising. Zuzu might also be looking for lunch. Okay. So this is a larger section. Like, I don't know, should I take some of that light blue and kind of blend it in to the middle of each piece and leave like a darker band of its original section's color? I mean, we could do that. I wasn't sure if I was gonna doodle this one. I hadn't necessarily planned on doodling on this one. Probably could have used a slightly bigger brush in this section. Probably. I mean, I probably could on the next pass. I've already got the paint in it right now, so... I don't know if I really feel like swapping it at this very point. Maybe for pass number 2 we could. I mean, could be interesting to do that. Don't know how that would look with the gold in there, though. Like that, I'm just not sure of. I mean, we could maybe try one section. And see how we feel about it. Well, that's possible. So we've got that kind of going that way. Sorry, you're just kind of seeing the top of my head for the most part. But I also need to look down so I can see what I'm doing. Thought I felt Bean climb on the container next to me. Alright, so don't know if I'm gonna need to do a pass of white. I probably will. Where the gold's going to go, just to kind of clean up those pencil lines a bit more. Because the gold's a little bit see-through. Like, we might have to do 3 passes on the gold. Just because that's the nature of it. Right. Oh, Michael's was having a canvas sale again, and I was like, oh, those prices, they were so good. But I still have some canvas. I like to hoard supplies. Like $1 and change for a 4x4 was not a bad price. But I still have some from my last canvas spray. I'm actually looking at getting a couple of egg plates that I saw specifically for gouache that were ceramic. Plain, no pattern on them. Just what I was looking for. At least I think it's what I'm looking for. I have to look at the dimensions again on it. And I think it was a pack of 2. The price was not bad. And then those can be my dedicated gouache things. And since they were egg plates, they kind of came with their own little paint wells. So I didn't have to worry about paint running when I water it down. Alright, so then we'll get that one. This is the tricky part in here. Because of how I separated it. Technically, this one is this color. Like my erasing job got a little too carried away in this particular spot. Now this is just the first pass of these guys. Right, they still very much need their second coat. Okay, that was the most least thing I expected to hear today. I have music in my headphones. You guys can't hear it because copyright and all. I did not know Lindsay Sterling teamed up with somebody to do a cover of the Pokemon theme song. I'm like sitting here and I'm like, be the very best. I'm like, wait a minute. That's the Pokemon theme song. What the heck am I listening to? That was not on my list of potential things I'm gonna hear today. It's probably ages old and I just didn't know about it. I've probably heard it before and just didn't realize that yes, that was in fact what I was listening to. Since she did it with someone else, I was half expecting somebody to sing. Nobody is singing. Hmm, interesting. Oh, okay. That's where the other person's coming in. An electric guitar just entered the chat. Okay, it's not bad. Kind of see the colors coming together here. Using this larger section to try to get some of the extra paint out. So I'm like, I really should rinse this brush, and then I'm like, yeah, but you're also almost done this first pass. I'm also almost out of this blob of paint that I put down. Now, I don't always hold my plate the whole time. I don't have anywhere good to sit it, so that's why it's been sitting on the canvas at times. I have a couple of easels, but I'm not really an easel painter. Like, I don't like painting on an easel, I don't. I don't know why. It just irritates me. Now, if I had a lay flat easel that sit on its own, that might be a different story, but I don't have the room for that or the money for that. Those fuckers are expensive. And when you're working on small stuff, I don't need a ginormous easel. So, you know. I don't think they make small lay flat easels. But if I'm gonna do a lay flat easel, I might as well just lay it flat on my surface, you know? Alright, just making sure that this is rinsed pretty good. What's Cal doing?
Like actually eating.
Where's B?
Off being a kitten.
Well, I haven't heard anyone else shriek in terror, so it mustn't be all that bad. Okay, so these guys have gotten their double coats. This section needs its double coat. And that's still kind of small. But it is bigger than the other ones. Hmm. Good thing there wasn't a whole lot of wet paint on that. Okay. Let's do a shaky shake here. Kind of looks a little cloudy out. Maybe that's why we're only up to 103. Oh no, now it feels like it's 105. This website is so slow to update. Unless it went up that fast. Well, we got some spottiness happening to our east, a couple counties over. Wonder if we're gonna get any of that. Probably not. Alright, so cleanup on this stuff is pretty easy. I just soak it with some water. Or I'll put it in like another container and let it soak in some water. Doesn't need that much time. Maybe 10-15 minutes at the most. Unless it's really stuck on there. Kind of depends on the paint brand and the length of time it's been on there. But this stuff so far has cleaned up very well. At least off of the plastic one. The plastic lid I was using, it just kind of peeled right on up off of it. Now tonight, or who am I kidding, I'll probably end up being in the morning, scrambling right before stream. I need to pull out another 5x5 square. So that we can block out the area for the next needle felting project. And I need to find what color felts we are going to be using, because I still have some felt that I'm trying to use up. So, I don't know what color it's going to be yet. I'll have to see whatever's on top. I mean, the husband kind of dug through for something that he needed it for the other day. So I don't know what order that went back in. Even though it was kind of chaos in that drawer, it kind of was in an order. I kind of had the weirder sized felt on top. Okay. This worked into here. Alright, that's a bit more even. Bit. Um, I should probably not be doing it this way. But I'm thinking this section will probably be dry. By the time I have to worry about my hand sitting in it. With the way everything is drying out so fast in here. It's so hot, I think my palm plant died. Part of it's crunchy. There's like one set of leaves that are still green. That we're trying to see if it's gonna come back. But I'm thinking maybe I just didn't water it enough to make up for how hot it's been in here. and it's not anywhere where the cats can get to it this time. And we're pretty sure this one was a pet safer option. Now, I'm sure Mr. Bean would find it if given half the chance, since he's starting to climb and jump up on stuff more. But we haven't given him the opportunity to find it yet. Peabut is definitely a plant chewer, for sure. He's the one that ate my last one. Like, it didn't stand a chance with him. At all. Okay. So let me rinse this guy. I kind of want to use... Where'd you go? I kind of want to use this guy. Don't know how it's going to go, but... It's no smaller than the other one I was using. The biggest difference is this one's a little bit softer. Which isn't always what I'm looking for. Most of the time I really like to feel the brush on the canvas. Feel what it's doing, if it's scraping it, if it's getting hung up. It feels like it's starting to run out of paint on it. So I don't normally go for these softer bristles. But it has come in handy for a few things. Here and there. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was seeing the glare from the light or if I was seeing an oddly thin section all of a sudden. So it definitely took me by surprise there. Set that down. I can feel my arm getting tired of holding it. We picked up a box of Milano cookies from Sam's as one of my snacks for the month. And they're double chocolate, so, or they're dark chocolate, excuse me. So they're rich, so I can't eat that many at once, so that's good. Um, but they are like in these tiny little, it's a pack of 2 cookies each. They're individually wrapped. They're in these little plastic trays in the inside of the wrapper. So I started saving the trays for when I do like the color shift paint, because that one is so sparkly that I don't really want to wash that off of the main plate. I'd rather just throw that away. So I might do the same thing with the gold. It kind of depends. Haven't figured out that yet. Only thing with this one is that it's a little streaky. So I'm seeing some splotchy bits. But do the splotchy bits matter a whole lot if I'm going to try to come back in and blend that lighter body color into it? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it is just gross in here. So I think I'm gonna stop there for today. Because I am melting. The paint is drying faster than I want it to on the plate, and I'd have to put some more paint out at this point, and I think we're in a good stopping place. So we still have to do our second pass on this section here, and that's fine. And then we need to continue with this same color, filling in its sections around the rest of the body. But so far, I think we're looking pretty good. And fairly happy with it so far. And we'll see how things continue to progress as we go along here. But so how do we want to do that? So these would be more like the finny guys off the head. And that's like the body fin. Might have to, We'll have to get all of the colors in before I start figuring out how I want to deal with the rest of it. So definitely something to think about, and I have to figure out how these are all intertwining and where the black paint is going when I get back around to that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, I think. Thank you guys for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Off camera. So, I'll see everybody tomorrow for needle felting, and we'll be starting a new needle felting project. We're gonna use an old reference photo though. Um, but that's okay. This is one I wanted to needle felt, so I'm excited that we're gonna start this one. Wednesday we'll be back in with Planet Zoo and working on our the area behind the butterfly caves. We're putting in a food court, and then we have we have two other bee animals, and I think an education area that I wanted to add in potentially before we move on to C. I might pop a gondola station in there at some point. We'll see. I'm not sure how much room I'm going to need for the gondola station. That's the problem. We'll have to figure that out as we go, I guess. But yeah, we'll figure that out. So still, thank you guys for popping in. I know we're cutting a little early, but the heat's just getting to be too much in here. Don't forget to follow the socially links. That'll take you to the Ko-fi, which is like Patreon, the Blue Sky, which is like X Twitter, and the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe over there. It's free to do so, and it will help the channel out over there. I archive the live streams over there, so in case you missed a live stream and you want to go back and watch more of it or finish it or whatever, it'll pop up over there. Eventually, just about everything's on a playlist over there. And sometimes we have stuff pop up over there, like Honey, I Joined a Cult that we haven't streamed yet. Or some art projects or what have you. So I will see everybody tomorrow, migraine permitting, of course, for needle felting. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good one.